Well, a deflating loss inside the Battle Dome as the St. Louis BattleHawks fall to the DC Defenders 27-15. Hello, my name is Luke Slabaugh. As we're checking in here on Sports Hub STL, our coverage brought to you by Hot Shots, the home of STL Sports since 1990. Our coverage on Sports Hub STL also brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. 27-15, the final, as the DC Defenders hand the St. Louis BattleHawks their first home regular season loss in nearly 2 years in front of a reported crowd of 30,014. And Judy, you're driving home right now, being safe. But my main takeaway from this is that the DC defense played really inspired football against a team that hadn't turned the ball over once before doing it 4 times today.
It is true, and honestly, our offense was something to be desired. It was tough to watch. It really was, knowing that we were capable of so much more. It was tough to watch. You just announced the attendance, 30,000. I mean, that's even less than last week, which I know was the opener, but these Sunday afternoon games, again, I know that St. Louis can support the league, but if we put these on primetime spots, that we're going to see that 35 plus attendance marker that we're looking for. So, but I mean, the crowd, they were incredible today. We really didn't, I would say the crowd kind of caved, in the fourth quarter. It got to be to where we kind of lost our faith in it.
I would agree, although the ESPN ABC audio had a lot of really good natural sound from the crowd. Mike O'Moran in the chat mentioned part of the 10-play, 77-yard drive that the Defenders had in the fourth quarter. Judy, I believe you had already headed for the exit at this point, but the phantom pass interference on safety Lucas Dennis, on tight end Ben Bresnahan near the end zone, really set up DC for that final touchdown that made it 24-15. Their receiver, Cornell Powell, actually made a great catch off a deflection that Kansas alum Mason Fairchild was diving for a ball in the end zone, hit off his hands into one of his teammates' hands, and they caught it. Could have been a really good pass defended by the BattleHawks and set them up well in a one-possession game, but it was not to be. Then on the next drive, Manny Wilkins is scrambling, gets a first down, a 3-yard gain, and gets kind of a shin to his helmet towards the end. His helmet actually went flying off, and you saw there was a cutaway shot to him on the sidelines, kind of a bruising and bleeding on either his left or right eye. I believe it might have been his right, given the vantage point. We're seeing another comment in the chat right now from Alex Bates, doing the Judy Strawder train, start Duggan, Max Duggan. And we got a lot of good bites from him and Tom Luganbill on the sideline as they were calling in the plays live and giving the breakdowns in real time. And Max definitely has the speed, and we've seen Manny Wilkins being able to scramble as well. There was a really early scramble from Wilkins that was brought back from a touchdown, ended up being about 25 or 30 or so. That seemed to take some life out of the crowd as well.
That was tough. It was like, oh man, we're like super stoked. And I was like, oh. Yeah, but no, we several different times, the crowd was shouting, "Let's start Duke," and it did become a chant. And like I had said, that I'm kind of bouncing around sections and doing something different and fun this season. The section I was in today, that was our that's kind of our motto, is "Let's start Dugan," and Duggan and see what he does. I mean, it didn't happen, but I honestly, and I was fearful for this, that our run game has gotten figured out, that they know that that's what we're going to do. And it was very evident today that we were figured out.
Scheme drawn up really well by interim defensive coordinator Blake Williams. His father, Greg, had just bolted for Tennessee State in this coordinator carousel midseason. Tom Luganbill on Friday said there was nothing really to worry about, and that the game plan being passed down from father to son would not phase the Defenders. And that is right. From the opening drive, the BattleHawks looked shaky and figured out on offense. There was that strip sack fumble Andre Mintz, the defensive end out of Vanderbilt for the defenders, caved in that ball on the line. And then on the next drive, another sack fumble. This time Chase Allen was able to fall on it, but a lot of pressure blindside that just threw Manny Wilkins off, couldn't hold on to the ball and couldn't get any momentum going.
No. It feels like what I was talking about last week where the Brahmas couldn't get any traction. It was all BattleHawks. It is unfortunately the exact opposite today. We could not get next to anything going. And honestly, I feel like the points that we got were all kind of luck. I was not impressed. It was something to be desired, the way that they played today. I've been to every home game for the last 2 seasons, and this one was a heartbreaker. It really was a heartbreaker.
With a possession being up to 9 points in the UFL, the game is always somewhat within reach, even late for the BattleHawks, but they were not able to convert on any opportunities late. The final line on Manny Wilkins, 16 of 29. That's 55 completion percentage, 147 in the air, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. You did talk before the show to me about the defense. Our defensive backs continue to put on a decent show and kept the team in the game in those middle quarters.
They really did.
Interceptions from Cameron Kelly and CP3.
Yo, yes! CP3. I'm telling you, we're going to coin it, Luke. He's going to be like, you know what? I've been missing that my whole career. That's CP3. But
right.
yeah, he had not even just that play. I mean, it's kind of interesting, and I will be the first to admit it, that I was only, aware of who he was until he was on the show. Once he's on the show, you kind of get to, you invest a little bit in somebody, and then all of a sudden it's like, dude, that kid's all over the field. He's amazing. He's awesome. And today he showed up again just like he did last week.
Rodrigo Blankenship also carrying this team on special teams with 3 made field goals, the longest from 56. And the BattleHawks got 2 of those field goals off the interceptions, so 6 points off turnovers in the middle goings. Made it an 18-12 game for most of that second half. Not a lot of scoring until the very end, and the defenders got a field goal in garbage time. Before we go to our second block, we want to give a couple shout outs to our sponsors. The first being Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Very wonderful sponsor on our show. Down with the new Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken BattleHawks box, you can score up to 30% off BattleHawks tickets, plus get 4 of their famous breast strips and a side of potato wedges for just $8.99, only at Lee's Famous for Chicken. We also want to give a shout out to coverage on Sports Hub STL by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
There was a lot of talk on the ESPN ABC telecast about the over-under lines in this game. It was, I think, 39.5, and it really did come down to that last field goal by the defenders. But so much in-game betting content on a UFL game. Someone that fans probably would have bet on is the former BattleHawks quarterback, now Defenders quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu. Went 17 of 37, 243 in the air, 2 picks, but 3 touchdowns, completes 46% of his passes, but yet this team is so reliant on him that he came up in the clutch moments and had some really big pass plays.
And he really did. It was, I had said it the other day that it's kind of hard to root against him because he is an extraordinary talent. And, it's fun because, I still, my new jersey hasn't come in yet, so I'm still sporting number 10. But it was really fun because I saw a fan sporting number 10 BattleHawks Jordan Mahu jersey. So, that's really cool. That's how deep his roots go here. OGs are still repping his jersey. He did amazing today. It just, I wish it had gone our way the way it went his way today.
Right. And we saw it from the jump in that first quarter, 62-yard pass to Ty Scott. Missouri State product Scott made it a 9-0 ball game. We saw some flashes from Manny Wilkins as well in the second quarter, hit Frank Darby for a 35-yard touchdown catch, but that was about all the pizzazz and the sparkle that we got out of Wilkins. So moving forward, as we approach week 4 and now not an undefeated team, 2-1, and the Defenders improving to 3-0, we know that there is an opportunity to get vengeance in the regular season finale down in DC at Audi Field. But for now, where does improvement start with this team, and what would you like to see change, Judy?
I think that if we were betting people, that we know that I feel like our number one change would be in the QB. Let's see what Max can do. Considering that we were so behind this entire game, that it would have just been awesome if Coach Beck had just gone ahead and put him in and just okay, well, what can he do? What could change? What kind of momentum might this do? I really think that we just need a change in that regard, mostly because, again, I think that our offense is figured out. I think that the teams have watched the video enough to know that Manny doesn't pass, and now it's become very obvious. And then even in this game, when he does pass, it's not super accurate to where we've just, again, I think we're kind of figured out.
There was an instance midway through the third quarter that I think shows some of the issues that fans might have with Wilkins, is that he bailed out of the pocket pretty early on a throw intended for Denzel Mims, started drifting towards the sideline and threw across his body, and then it was picked off, which led to that extended 6-minute, 15-second drive by the Defenders. But thrown across his body, cardinal sin, and just not being composed under pressure there in a league that, while it's figured out the offensive line, or while it's figured out the offense, he was given some pretty clean pockets to work with. I see that now you have arrived home.
Yes.
You can see because the Wi-Fi connection's starting to kick in. This is good.
Yes. I am home. I am home safe after all the tailgating and the very fun day with the disappointing end. But the great part is that our fans are the best. So I still had an incredible time hanging out with our fans all day.
Really encouraging. Mike O'Moran says in the comments, pass protection and in-game offensive adjustments are needed. Also mentioned that Manny's helmet came off twice and then made very quick, hasty decisions afterwards. Could that point to something deeper? I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say anything of that nature, but there's certainly worth exploring. When someone gets rattled, usually like in college and football, the protocol is for them to go off the field for at least a snap and get evaluated, but we're not quite seeing that in the UFL just yet. What we did hear today from Danny Garcia, who runs the league, is that once again, St. Louis will be hosting the UFL championship game this summer, to the surprise of no one.
How exciting! She was there. I got a couple pictures. Not with her, but of her.
Well, here's my promise to you, Judy Strawder. By the time this season is over and we're raising a UFL championship trophy over our head, we're going to get you that exclusive with Danny Garcia. We're going to get
That'll be super crazy exciting.
I would say probably our best bet would be week 10 down at Audi Field in DC.
I
So
I did make a big ask today and ask for Rodrigo Blankenship to hopefully come to fruition. I did. I made a big ask today. But the fans, not just me and not just you and not just everyone else, like I mean literally everyone in St. Louis loves this guy. They watch his TikToks. It's a legit thing. Like people love this guy. So it'd just be so awesome to have him on the show.
I saw the UFL tweeted out that he had, a special fan section or families that were waiting for him out there. He's definitely got the celebrity. He's got the panache. We should try to get him Wednesday or whenever we do the show this coming week.
Yeah.
It is going to be a short week for the BattleHawks. They're at Arlington, where the ballpark at Arlington used to be, where the Texas Rangers used to play baseball. Now Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, Texas. An 11:30 kickoff on Saturday on ABC. That is going to be a tough turnaround, a quick turnaround as well. So no primetime dilemma or no Sunday game for them. It'll be 6 days of rest and hit Bob Stoops' team pretty hard down there in Dallas.
Well, actually, and I think that that's really good because, I mean, with it being Easter weekend, that the fact that we're not playing on a holiday and we kind of get the day before that, I mean, hopefully we get those numbers, the viewership numbers up. Luke, something that I wanted to bring up, and I forgot to bring it up last week, and I made a special. How did we get a mascot? We have a mascot. Where did he come from? How amazing is he? Does any other team have one?
Does he wear pants?
He does. They're very padded, but he does wear pants.
So I saw the FS1 broadcast. It was Joel Klatt and Connor Onion doing it, and they pointed to that in the stand because there were a lot of interesting interactions with fans and stuff in the stands. But I cannot for the life of me, what's his name?
I couldn't tell you what his name is. I just know that he was there last week and this week. I mean, they even made a bigger deal out of him, which is why I was like, really need to bring him up. I literally don't know where he came from. He just appeared out of nowhere, this incredible mascot. And he looks amazing. He's so cool.
Archie B. That is his name.
Archie B.
Yeah,
Archie like the arch,
B.
like
Yes.
the arch, and like in the BattleHawks, like so Archie B.
Honestly, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want out of a mascot. Yeah, he's got the jersey, he's got the padded pants, he's got some big clawed feet and the wings, and yeah.
He does.
So I think this is a must. We get into the intricacies of sports and competition, and sometimes people elevate them to be this battleground for moral right and wrong and whatever. But this is a game for kids. Like this is minor league developmental football. Like I don't care if it's the River City Rascals, rest in peace, or any sort of organized sport around here. It's got to be catered towards the kids. You have to give them an incentive to come. So yeah, 100% Archie B is my man. I am in on this.
Yeah, I got some pictures. So if we're able to put pictures up for the next podcast, I did get some pictures of him. He is super hyped up. Great mascot. Totally enjoyed him. Like I said, not only last week, but again this week, he was so prominent that I was like, man, I have to bring him up because I'm nearly certain that we're the only UFL team to have an actual mascot. Don't even know where he came from, but he's awesome.
Came from the 9-person marketing department. I was going to ask you last week about
Stoley's all on top of it.
Shout out to Stoley, and we still have a 1-minute window for Rodrigo Blankenship to be here. I'm just kidding. So I was going to ask you because Spider-Man was there at last week's game, and so was
right in front of me. He was right in front of me.
You met Spider-Man. That's kind of cool.
I did. Yeah, great dude.
All right. Well, we appreciate all of you tuning in here live on YouTube, or wherever you're watching, wherever you may be on this Sunday. Unfortunately, Not the result that we wanted, as the BattleHawks dropped their first game of the season 27-15 in the Battle Dome to the DC Defenders. They'll be back Saturday morning against the Arlington Renegades on ABC. Want to thank you and thank Judy Strawder, my partner in crime, for joining me again on this post-game show. And Judy, before we go and we reconvene for the BattleHawks Hub show, brought to you by Hot Shots and by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, can you give me a caw-caw?
Caw-caw!